Last year, as a Broncos fan, this is how I felt. Yeah, a snap right to the gooch. This year, I feel like this wily raccoon that got loose in the stadium. Sneaky little rascal. And unexpectedly cute. Hard to wrangle and possibly rabid like the Broncos defense. This year, the Broncos are forcing their opposing quarterbacks to eat their own boogers.
Out of here with their third win of the year.
Yeah,
I was hoping that one wouldn't stick.
I'd rather be the gooch snap team than the booger team. I'm sorry, Gardner. Only Jimmy Garoppolo can do that and still look sexy. Jimmy G, the only booger eater in the NFL who would still be getting laid. Guys, I think the Broncos are good, and I think the Raiders are the new worst team in the AFC West. We bo-literated them 34-18 with 8 of those Raiders points coming in garbage time. Bo Nix is the first rookie quarterback in Broncos history to win 3 straight games, which means he did something not even Paxton Lynch or Drew Lock could do. The Broncos have been carrying around a lot of bad juju, mojo, omens, whatever you want to call it, for the last several years. They broke free from those demons in this game. They beat the Las Vegas Raiders for the first time ever, snapping an 8-game losing streak to that organization. Bo Nix combined for 3 total touchdowns, and the Denver defense is so good, they got Gardner Minshew benched, and the reason he was benched will shock you. Plus, I'll reveal the real reason Bo Nix is the next coming of Jesus of quarterbacks. Congratulations, Raiders, you got spanked. You let the Broncos end all of their miserable streaks, making you the new worst team ever, and Max Crosby, Bo's teammates can hear him now. Yeah, they're out celebrating. Probably at church, but still. Please subscribe here. If you loved me when I was losing, then I also need you when I'm winning. Today's episode is sponsored by Underdog. Use my code THATSGOOD if you're going to play at Underdog, the best place to play daily fantasy, the best place to build pick'em entries where you stack player totals, and if you get them all right, you can 10x, 20x some of your payouts. I didn't hit on my Broncos payouts, but I didn't care because the Broncos won and they kicked butt. Also, if I get 10,000 signups, and here's where it's important, 10,000 signups at Underdog, they owe me $1 million. We are a quarter of the way there. We're almost a quarter of the way there. I think we can do it. Denver went to their 1977 throwbacks. They were beautiful. Even Raiders fans were telling me the Broncos uniforms were giving them massive boners. Hell, the Broncos injury throwback cart is so beautiful that it's almost a tragedy nobody got hurt enough to use it. Put me in the game, Sean Payton. I will fake an injury just to see this cart in action. Hell, I'll let Max Crosby hit me as hard as he can, and if that somehow doesn't actually injure me, I'll let him eat off my fucking arm. Okay, maybe just my pinky, The Raiders played one good quarter, and one good quarter only. Vegas came out hot and got the ball to Brock Bowers. They hit a couple nice runs, including Gardner Minshew doing it with his thick booger-eating thighs, and then Bowers exploited a mismatch with safety PJ Locke in coverage, housing it on the opening drive. The Raiders were good on both sides of the ball, which is how they got up 10-0. Bo Nix made exactly one nice play, and it came at the very end of the first quarter. And thus concludes me saying nice stuff about the Raiders. I mean, if you had won the game, Vegas, imagine how nice this clip of Broncos center Luke Wattenberg forgetting Bo Nix was in shotgun and accidentally trying to snap the football through his own asshole would be for your memes. Imagine.
I think that you know whether the quarterback is underneath. You're going to have a different feeling than when he's in shotgun.
Yep.
There's going to be something missing.
You think? Now, Pat Surtain pick six changed the game. The Raiders were up 10-3. A massive Max Crosby sack and a couple dumb Broncos penalties backed them out of field goal range. Denver was in like 3rd and 34, for Christ's sake. I did this bit years ago that as soon as the Broncos got close to the 30-yard line, they started doing dumb stuff, bad penalties, which became the curse of the 30-yard line. And I thought I was watching that again. Luckily, the Broncos picked up enough junk yards capped by this gorgeous Javonte Williams hurdle to give Will Lutz a shot at a long field goal, which he blasted. Those were the Broncos' first points. The Raiders started to drive again. Amir Abdullah looked like he might finish the day with a $180 on the ground, bringing me flashbacks of Josh Jacobs gashing the Broncos' defense for unspeakable amounts of yards. Minshew and Bowers had the Raiders set up with a 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. And then, when it felt like the game was going to get away from the Broncos, my spirit quarterback Gardner Booger McMinshew makes this horrible throw on the run, and Pat Surtain picks him on the goal line and returns the ball 101 yards for the pick six. It won't show on the stat sheet, but Fox aired a Davante Adams commercial right after that pick six, and it was a Taco Bell commercial. Fitting, not because they were severely missing Davante Adams, but that was the exact moment the entire Raiders organization became a unified diarrhea, which you can only get by consuming Taco Bell. Not only did that change the momentum and trajectory of the game, it was the second longest pick six in Broncos history. Only Aqib Talib against the Cowboys has a longer one at 103 yards. The game was tied despite Bo Nix not doing anything yet. Gardner Minshew at that point had the same amount of touchdown passes to the Broncos as Nix did on the season with one. The Raiders had 101 more yards of offense at halftime, but were suddenly losing 13-10. Also, ever since Patrick Surtain liked my Instagram reel, he now has 2 interceptions and a pick six. So you get the Big Dick Player Award, Pat, as long as you keep liking my posts, Pat. The Broncos got someone else to cover Brock Bowers, who smartly just ripped off his helmet and threw it out of the game. Your hairline can't hide in the Mile High City, Brock. I'm just kidding. You know what, guys? Thinning hair is not a joke, and we should stop giving Brock Bowers shit about it. I dealt with a thinning hair scare earlier this year. I've received some treatments. Just a little celebration taste. It seems to be helping, but I don't think it's funny. It's terrifying, actually. Roughly 110 of Gardner Minshew's 137 passing yards basically came in the first quarter. He was doing overthrows, not my Christian youth leader, Bo Nix. Why did Gardner Minshew get benched? The reason Minshew got benched in this game was because he committed the greatest sin any NFL quarterback can commit. No, not murder. No, not booking a massage. He threw an interception to a white corner. That's right. Riley Moss got his first NFL interception. The last time we have seen this was in 2002 when Jason Sehorn had 2 for the Giants. They actually community noted me on Twitter for saying it was the first white corner pick of the new millennium. Shut up, Elon. Twitter sucks now. Thanks for nothing. And guess who was the Giants offensive coordinator when that happened? Yes, Sean Payton. We have PS2 on one side and the Nintendo Dolphin on the other. They really were Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson, and they just hustled the Raiders. And Bo Nix, he's Rosie Perez, who saves them all by winning on Jeopardy. We forget White Men Can't Jump is really an hour-and-a-half commercial for Alex Trebek.
Yes.
Pat Surtain would get a second pick in this game. Denver was up 27-10 when he did it. This one was off of Brock Bowers' own hands via an Aiden O'Connell pass. Surtain hasn't allowed a touchdown all year. I haven't seen the Broncos sideline this happy since they found out Josh McDaniels had been fired. Hey, wait. The same is true for the Raiders, I think. One thing Broncos and Raiders fans can always agree on. Fuck Josh McDaniels. Now, the reason I know Bo is my Bo has nothing to do with what he did on the field. Forget that Bo Nix threw 2 touchdown passes. Forget that Bo Nix's dime, his FDR, was dropped by Troy Franklin. Wait, No, the man named Franklin can't catch an FDR? A Franklin Delano Roosevelt? Man on the dime himself? Shoot! Troy Franklin may be cursed. Forget Bo Nix going over the Raiders for a quarterback sneaking touchdown.
Forget about it.
This insane catch by Courtland Sutton on the sideline. Forget that Nix had 26 passing yards after the first quarter, but finished with a strong 206 and a passer rating of unbelievable. And forget this absolute FDR to Josh Reynolds for a touchdown. Forget all of that shit. It does not matter. Our quarterback has something you cannot teach. Testicles. Balls. That's right, the moment I started to truly believe and pray to Bo Nix as our quarterback savior was the moment I watched him get in Sean Payton's grill. Bo Nix got heated with Sean, and it was awesome. That's a confident rookie. You want your rookie quarterback to be fearless, and for some reason, Sean Payton is probably scarier to see pissed off than Max Crosby. Remember how hard we got trolled and dunked on last year when Sean Payton yelled at Russell Wilson and Russ just sat there and took it the exact same way I would or any of you would? Bo don't do that shit. Bo has poise, and Bo has a meter for Sean Payton BS that when full, he pushes back. Now, Nix had one missed throw to Courtland Sutton that is pretty unforgivable. Unless, of course, the Broncos won the game, which they did, so I totally forgive you, Bo. After the game, though, Sean Payton was asked about the confrontation, and he gave the most Sean Payton answer I've ever heard, and I've heard a lot.
There's still a little bit of Ferris Bueller in this player that we got to get rid of. All right, talking about Bo, and I love him to death.
He's very popular, Ed. They think he's a righteous dude.
Sometimes it's my love language.
If that's Sean Payton's love language, remind me to never make love to Sean Payton or talk to him. Speaking of love language, Bo Nix, you're getting a Big Dick Player Award just for standing up to coach. Hopefully telling him to call more than 8 runs in the first half next week. Javonte, I think, needs 20 touches. Even more impressive, after the game, Bo was asked about Troy Franklin's drop, and Bo complimented Troy's ability to adjust to a 60-yard bomb and just get into position to catch the ball. That's a guy who will keep the respect of his teammates. Ideally, Bo and Troy will develop some chemistry together. Remember, it's only their 3rd year as teammates, and everyone knows it takes 4, 5, sometimes 6 to 7 years before chemistry really clicks. This is the most points, though, the Broncos have scored since, I don't know, forever, I guess. 2021, I don't know. It feels like forever. It's the first winning record we've tasted. The first winning record we have tasted also since 2021, week 14. Bo Nix hit 11 different Broncos receivers in this game. There were only 5 active receivers. So someone tell me how that's possible. Is that? Oh, right. Other guys can catch the ball. I might have had a little too much sauce tonight. Or I'm just stupid. I forget. And shout out to Marvin Mims and Tremon Smith, who both had big returns. 11 total penalties for the Raiders. A true throwback, if you ask me. Thanks for playing along, Raiders. And this is a true sign the Broncos really do have their next John Elway. A true return of the Gooch.
I think that you know whether the quarterback is underneath. You're going to have a different feeling than when he's in shotgun.
Yep.
Thanks for watching That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube. Don't forget to come back Tuesday. We'll do winners and losers for every game. But God bless Bo Nix. God bless Bo Nix. Use this.